I wrote out the entire speech. I read it several times to members of my campaign team. I had a good idea of everything that I was saying. I had the speech in front of me with certain words underlined, so like things I definitely wanted to say, just so I could look down and go, oh, I've said that, okay. But definitely rehearsing it several times so that if you don't feel like you want to look down at your speech, you've got your head's going, this is next, this is next.
I speak off the top of my head. If I ever prepare for something, I generally prepare kind of like footnotes or titles to speak around. Not necessarily a word-by-word speech to go along. And in the original question time over in Bedford, I had the points I wanted to raise, the titles, as you could say, that I wanted to talk about. But so I kind of lost my way, and as soon as I myself realised I was messing up, even though apparently it didn't come across too badly, I realised I was messing up, and for me that made the first question time the worst out of the two, because in the second question time over here in Luton, I don't know how big a crowd, but I enjoyed it a lot more.
I mean, I had my script in front of me. I thought about going bullet points, but I thought if I had the script in front of me, then it would just help me. But obviously, I knew it off by heart, so it was just there for reference if I needed it.
I write speeches out in full, and I make sure that every single point is a new paragraph, and the font is really big, so it doesn't matter how many pages you have, that you make sure that it's nice and clear, so that when you are interacting with your eyes and you're looking up at the crowd to engage with them, that when you come back down to the paper to find your point, you haven't lost it. And I think that it's really good to use punctuation, almost over-punctuate what you're saying on the piece of paper, so that you don't sort of end up drowning off into boring waffle, and that maybe at the end of a very basic point you put an exclamation mark, and that's to make sure that when you're reading that off the page that you make it sound more positive than maybe it would be if I was having a face-to-face conversation with someone.